thank you to each and every one of you who are here to be informed, and for those of you who helped pull this event together. We're really excited tonight. We have a really interesting agenda. First and foremost, I will soon hand the mic over to Deborah, who's going to share some very kind, inspiring, and wise words. We're then very, very fortunate tonight to have with us Alexia Gonzalez, who's just a big-ass entrepreneur, as well as the co-founder of I Am My Plan. So she's going to be taking us through a TED Talk or a keynote type of discussion on some very inspiring topics. Coming out of Alexia's presentation, we wanted to reflect on the core founding principles as to why we exist, why we put Bridges together, right? Which is really about creating meaningful local and global connections, right? And one of the reasons why we're all here today. Secondly, we were founded to really help inspire like-minded women to create a positive impact on our personal lives as well as our professional environment. And last but not least, really to find ways to help empower each other in order to help each other achieve our goals, whatever those goals might be. So today, right, as we kick off 2017, we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear what your ideas are, how Bridges can continue to add value to you as we further build out our pipeline for the balance of the year. So this platform is only as good as the community that makes up this organization, which is all of you and beyond. So we want to take the time to hear your ideas, what you're passionate about, what you care about, what are some of your pain points, because all of those insights and those findings will be built in to how we look to deliver a pipeline of added value in these real life type of settings, but also in the type of content and the context of what we're looking to create across digital platforms. So more news to follow on that. So with that said, I will hand it off to Deborah.
Great. So thank you so much for all of you taking the time to be here. I know everyone's busy. This is a little dream of mine that I'm sharing with all of you, and thanks to a tribe of amazing women, this could happen. So again, thank you so much, and I'd love to hear from you at the end. We're also going to have a little networking. When you came in, you completed a little card there to give us some insights of you and what you're looking for, what you can offer, what you're passionate about. So feel free, after we're done with the open forum, to go and look and meet each other. So, let's kick it off. On January 21st, as you all know, about 4 million women and some men marched around the world. We were marching for different things, for immigrants' rights, for racial rights, to protect our world from climate change. There were so many things, so many messages. So how do we get that one message strong? How do we make our voice become louder? To me, it's very clear, and it means that we need to get together, we need to come together. This definitely kicked off a social movement, and I think that together we can make amazing things happen. We're not taking a political stand in this. I think this march was something that, at least personally, it touched very deeply in different issues that affect all of us. And like Shana was saying, we really want to hear from you, and we want to set some milestones and really do magic together. So at Bridges, what we really want to do is to close the gap, to bring each other together, and when we do that, help someone along the way and really achieve our goals. Our goal is to help each other improve our businesses, our careers, personal and philanthropic endeavors. Together we stand to grow, support, lead, partner, and bond. All this starts within, and we need to love ourselves to do so. So along the year, we also want to empower you in different ways, not only from the outside, but also from the inside. And we have some amazing influencers with us that will be helping us as well. We labels do not define us. We're here to support each other. And that being said, with us there is a woman who was so inspiring to me. Once we spent some time together, and it also was another milestone for me to make this happen, in addition to these amazing ladies behind me and very special ladies here that I want to thank: Ellen, Jessica, Emilia, Samantha. I'm sorry if I forgot your name. Also, I wanted to talk about Rebecca. Where you're sitting now, this is Vice. If you don't know what Vice is, you should definitely go look it up. Vice started as a magazine in Montreal and talking about issues in a very real way. It's really amazing, so very thankful, Rebe, for providing the space. You should really catch up with Rebe, she's amazing. So, help me welcome Alexia. She is the founder of I Am My Plan, and someone I admire very much. She had the opportunity and the honor to talk at the Women's March in Miami in front of 10,000 people, and that to me is really freaking cool. So, welcome, Alex.
Thank you. So, just to get a, like hands up in the air, like you actually want people to know, who showed up? And who was there, I guess, in spirit? Well, like Deborah says, that was actually probably one of the highlights of my life. And I do say that, with a lot of conviction. It didn't mean that I loved every single thing that people were saying there, but the topic that I was there to talk about is what I really have dedicated my entire life to since I decided to leave a corporation. So that's really what I'm going to talk about today. I'm not going to do the talk because it's a little bit over the top. It's a whole lot of energy for 10,000 people. So anyway, I think the reason, if we can go back to the march of why people showed up, and why many supported it, couldn't be there, or maybe they were locked out, because actually 25,000 people showed up in South Florida, and it really comes back to like the dream, right? When we were little girls, we dreamt things, right? And many of us still have those dreams. And sometimes when days like today, like the day that I had today, where I was in the hospital with my mom for more time than I care to ever admit, I question if those dreams are ever going to happen. Any of you guys ever felt that way? Yeah. And unfortunately, well, kind of fortunate, not fortunate. We have a whole lot of social media, which I feel puts a whole lot of pressure on women. And now little girls are talking about a thigh gap, and girls are like, oh, I'm 2 centimeters or 3 centimeters, and I'm like, why are we even talking about this stuff? Because the gaps that we really need to be focusing on as women are the systematic pay gap and the investment gap that nobody ever talks about. And where I work professionally is in the investment gap, trying to really inspire women to invest their money. But you can't really just say, hey, look, go invest your money, go figure stuff out, without systematically saying there are some issues. So I'm going to share with you guys a little bit of statistics. Just shout out what you think the pay gap is for anybody that works, job to job. What is it? What have you guys heard? The pay gap.
60 cents.
Huh?
60 cents per dollar.
60 cents the dollar. Okay. Have you all heard other things? Okay. So I mean, different publications show different things. When we're looking at people that work in the same position within a large corporation, the gap is 78 cents. Are you guys down with that? Okay, cool. I didn't think so. The number where the lady in the right is talking about is that when you go into entrepreneurship, where's really where I play because I have my own firm, she's actually closer to it. And that number really, really got to me because I work extremely hard. I am extremely well prepared. I speak 3 languages, and you can ask my husband, I'm a workaholic. And the thought that myself and my friends make $60,000 when a man's making $100,000, there's some gaps missing. And I think that what Bridges does here is phenomenal because it bridges the gap, because the fundamental rule in women making more money is, to me, having the opportunities. And how does that happen? Through the support, right? Now, we can go on and say, okay, yeah, but pay leave and maternity and all these other things. Like, I'm not saying that you have to only work and, you know, not want to have balance and all these other wonderful things in your life. But, you know, we do have to go into our offices, especially when anybody looking for a new job? It's okay, raise your hand. I mean, you want people to know that, right?
Yeah.
So they can help you.
Speak up.
That's a key opportunity for you to grow a pair and ask for yours. That's when we negotiate. When you're going from, you know, okay, I'm gonna go to a new level and all these other things, it's minimal. It's increments where you may get tops, and I mean, you're like a badass negotiator. Yes, I cuss. 10% maybe, but when you go in, that's the key time to really ramp up your skills, know the market, and honestly just be willing to walk away. But what keeps women from not walking away? Let's ask ourselves that question. Financial. We have a giant hole in the bottom of our purses. So as we go to the grocery store, as we walk our dogs, which I'm assuming some of us do, like me and Deborah, some of you guys have kids. The entire day, just imagine that you've got this hole and you're dripping money out of it. And you're dripping money while you're at work. While you're going to go make money, you're dripping money because you're not investing your money. Imagine being at that job interview or being in a certain relationship, or maybe let's just go back to the personal realm. Let's talk about maybe a relationship that we know a friend of ours is in. What if she didn't need the money? Would it be different? It'd be absolutely different. But the only way that we can bridge that gap is by investing. It absolutely is. And I don't care what you invest in. I don't care if it's Bitcoins or real estate or whatever. But you've got to have your money work for you, because women statistically work less years than men. Our careers peak. Get this, hold on to your seats, because I think some of you guys are in your 20s. I'm 35. But mid-30s, I've peaked. Men peak in their 60s. We take career breaks. I was talking to one of my clients who I do financial planning for, and she said, Alexia, she's like, I didn't realize that going on maternity leave was gonna set me this far back. So you gotta save for these things. You know, people wanna buy a house. Where do you get that 10% down? Where do you get that 20% down? You gotta save for that too. So my question is, do you save it in the bank where you're getting zero? I mean, I don't know if you guys have looked at the markets, man, but there's few things that I like about Donald Trump, but what I do like is what I've seen in the market. So this is really the time to put your hats on. So if there is something that I can convey to you right now, is that the time is absolutely now. And I do feel that in negotiations, if I can, you know, partake something on you guys, is that when you are more confident, when you have more, you know, security in what you're saying, confidence always wins. I think that's why we have who we have as president, because he's really stupid, but he's very confident. Extremely confident. So I'm not advocating for stupidity, because I think everybody here is extremely intelligent, but know your stuff. Know how much you're worth. And by investing in yourself, putting money away for whatever may happen, that's gonna just pretty much set you in a different field. Life is gonna be completely different. And if I can touch on just very quickly before I leave the stage, on I Am My Plan, like many entrepreneurs, we found companies and we found things that we believe in that we would have liked for ourselves. So any entrepreneurs in here that started something to solve their own problem? Yeah, like, I mean, that's the beauty of it, right? You're like, shit, I wish this existed. Okay, I'm like, hey, let me make it exist. And so that's what I did, because I needed clients, and I also wanted to talk to people in a way where I wanted to be talked to. And the financial industry predominantly is men. And guess what? They're 50 or 60 years old. They didn't seem to talk to me with a whole lot of respect. And yes, I had a lot of money at the time. So to me, it's how do you change that lingo? How do you empower women? But not empower women with advice, but actually with actions. So what I Am My Plan does is that we help women make more money. And that is a strong promise that last year we were able to convey, and we're expanding more into this year. And I can't really talk anymore because this is about bridges. So if you guys have any questions for me, I hope I've been able to convey my passion. I know this is not a keynote, and I am extremely sorry that I didn't stick to plan, but investing your money is a do or depend on someone else. Who is that going to be? To me, It's me. And I don't control everything, but I do control what I do. So I thank you guys for your time. I'm extremely, extremely passionate. Connect with people. Who cares if they don't know you? Who cares if your voice shakes and all this other stuff? We're all scared. Nobody knows each other here. But if you keep on coming, you're gonna make friends, you're gonna make connections, and you're probably gonna take action on something that you know you've been needing to do for a very, very long time. So thank you very much.
Alexia, if I may, just one question, yeah? What would be those 2 or 3 action items that you would suggest? So somebody like myself, who my husband's probably done a lot of the investment, I probably don't have too much access to, nor have I shown much interest in how he's investing our money, but I do have my own savings, right? Something I learned from my mom and my grandma, right? What would be the 3 action items that I should consider, right? Like, I wouldn't even know what percentage of my salary or my savings is the right amount. How much of it should it be high risk, low risk? So what would those 3 tips be?
So from my experience of working with clients, the first issue is really having that talk with your significant partner. That's, I think, the hardest one. I probably shouldn't say this on video, but I'm gonna say it anyway. People are more ready to get naked together versus really being open about what's going on in the bank, because there's a lot of shame, associated with that. And I'm not saying that that's a situation. So the first thing first is that you said, I don't think I have a lot of access.
Just interest. I just kind of trusted him when I pulled in, and so, but we're getting older, and I was like, wow, if something happens to you, I don't even know the passwords.
Yeah. So to throw out a little bit of statistics, 95% of women will be their sole decision maker at one point in their life. Did you guys hear that? 95% of women will be their sole decision maker. So you can be a sole decision maker by virtue of divorce. It could be, becoming a widow, which unfortunately does happen. So the first thing that I would say is, hey, look, hun, let's put everything out there on the table. Now, some people may not want to carry all the decisions and to looking at different things, and that's okay. But you've got to know where stuff is. So I think the first thing is saying, okay, what does my cockpit look like? How do I track my money? And typically my clients find some very, very interesting things. And I actually find that marriages, like guys actually like us to get involved. Like, they actually love it. They're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. So the first thing would be really being open about it. I don't like talking about, specific broad strokes for everybody, but there is a rule of thumb that you should be saving 20% of your income. A lot of us have debt, right? We went to college. A lot of my clients that are physicians have a whole lot of debt. And you just can't say, okay, well, I'm gonna do this, but just start certain increments. And definitely if you have a 401k, max to that. And then the last point is put your money in places you can have access to. Because a 401k, as you guys know, it's not really very liquid, and there's penalties involved with that. And we all have access to money, problems where we need it yesterday. So I would really look at the liquid money that you have, so that if something were to happen, God forbid, you have access to the money. So those are the 3 things.
Thank you so much. Any questions? Okay, you will have her later on the network, so feel free to approach her. Thank you so much throughout the year. Thank you. So just bear her in mind throughout the year. We plan on touch a little more upon this. If this turns out that it is an interest, and the way I see it, you learn about so many things in school. So many. Do we learn about money? No, we don't. You have to be proactive. You have to go research. You have to read books in order to learn. Or you have to meet Alexia walking your dog in the park. She lives in Brickell, by the way. And I'll give you the address later. So that being said, we will open this up to a forum. Don't be shy. There is no right or wrong. Like Shana said, we want to hear from you, for you. The reason we did this is because we want to empower each other. right? We want to connect, inspire, and empower each other. So please feel free to ask questions. It is as open can be. And I'll pass it on to Shana to kick it off.
Great. So as Deb said, no right, no wrong answer. Knowing that we look to create connections, inspire, and empower women, would love, to hear from you guys based on the full year calendar that we're looking to plan out. What are some of the topics that you'd like to, hear about or read about or be informed? So any takers? Could we hear from anybody? Yes. The environment. All right. What excites you about the environment?
Climate change and the things people are doing and not doing, and what our politics, how it's affecting what is happening in the world, and how people are talking about it, not talking about it, and talking against it.
Yeah, so about the environment. So what's happening, what's not happening, how people are taking action, how politics are being involved, and what are some of the movements that are happening socially. Thank you for that. Yes.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, the environment. And the first thing I think is, how can we act locally? For example, hi guys, my name is Estella. So yeah, I was gonna say also the environment I think is a subject that I would love to talk about, especially us being here in Miami. And I was gonna say that, for example, I think it's so important for us to start acting locally. I'm part of a group on Facebook that is Clean Up Miami Beach, and I love how they're acting locally and they're using Facebook Live to show how rivers and devastated, not devastated, but like with trash all over. For example, I work a couple blocks from here, and they don't provide recycling bins, and I take recycling home. And I'm in Wynwood, and Wynwood is one of the highest prices for rent right now, and it's higher than Miracle Mile, and they don't provide it. There's no recycling bins in Wynwood. So there's many things like this that I think we could start locally. I think this is the whole power that we have at Bridges, is starting locally, influencing each other, coming up with ideas and things that we care about. So I would love to actually take lead or somehow help in that topic.
That's awesome. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
I wanted to pause for a second. We are live on Facebook, on our Bridges fan page. So when you see me with the phone, I'm not texting. I'm 100% here, just to let you know. So you can all connect, and you can also ask your questions on here if you don't want to take the mic. I do encourage you to speak so we get to know you. In regards to climate change, I'm Argentinian, moved to Toronto, spent half my life there. We don't have just one garbage can, we have three. We have your regular garbage, your recycling, and your compost. I didn't even know what that was. So it is a key issue here. I'm always going after people in the office when they use a lot of water bottles and there's no recycling. So that's amazing. Thank you so much.
Sometimes they also go to the same place. Like when they're collecting the garbage. When they're collecting the garbage, they throw the recycling and the trash in the same place. So it also gets you thinking, like, are we even recycling? And another thing I'd like to talk about is food production. What's in our food? Why can't we read half the ingredients on products that we purchase at the supermarket? We don't see anything in factories that's being produced. Nothing at all. If you look at factories, the factory name, you get a gist of it. You don't see how your food's being produced. You can be skinny, but your cholesterol level is high. It's all like a great topic.
Would you mind stating your name?
My name is Cindy. I'm currently a full-time student. It's my first time coming here, and I think this is great. Thank you.
Awesome. Anybody else? Yeah. Would you mind starting with your name?
Hi everybody, my name is Vida, and I'm in real estate, and I really enjoy whatever Mark said, especially coming to the environment. And, I really like the sort of the philosophical arguments and how I agree and how passionate we are about it. But I really enjoy what was said about acting locally. They posted a little, post. Tesla just came out these roof coverings that pretty much would collect the sunlight and you could use it as an electricity. And I reposted it and I said how great this would be in Florida. And they're saying it's going to be cheaper than a regular, roofing job. And somebody underneath has posted that that's illegal in Florida, that FPL controls it. And how I got so sad immediately because we have such a resource here and roofed here because of the sunshine. We have such a resource. So if we can get together and we can change these things a little bit at a time, I really think that this can be brought up and changed. And we can make this. I mean, we have such amazing resources here. California has moved so far, so advanced, and we still don't have eco-friendly homes here. It blows my mind. We have so much money here. And we don't have that niche. And now it's obvious that it's the laws that need to be changed, and maybe we can do something about it together, because it really doesn't start in DC, it starts here. When we have a big following, when people speak up, that's when change starts happening. And it's not about screaming, it's about having, logical argument. It's about knowing your stuff. So I'm passionate about that we can get proactive based on facts and logic and get, and kind of present these things. And then the free market, when somebody comes up and says, I have a better alternative, whether it's food, it's clean food, or it's clean, building materials, or it's, low, eco-friendly clothes, and it's the same price, what's going to happen? It's going to start changing. People are going to start buying what's good for you. And the price is not going to be an issue, but we got to start making that happening. And I really hope this is going to be a place where we can do so. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's going to be quick. I'm Erica, and this is my third time in this event, so nice to meet you. And my interest here is to talk about politics. How can we involved in politics locally? I'm talking about locally, just in our areas, in our neighborhoods. How can we be proactive, and how can we change our neighborhood, for instance? So I always walk my dogs around the Miami River, and I always see styrofoam floating around. So I know that South Beach now banned that kind of products or materials. So why, as a customers, we demand the place that we are eating if we are taking delivery? We have the power. That's my issue here. Yeah, my point here. So how can we be proactive in politics, activism, as a local? If we are neighbors, we can organize ourselves and demand not only the politics, the restaurants that we are eating, the grocery stores that we are eating, where the food is coming from, etc. So for the politicians, yeah, the politicians. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, because of
I'll speak closer to the microphone.
Is that better? When you have a question, do you mind just coming to the front? Sorry to be on the spot. Now we're going to put it a little louder.
So, okay. Sorry. I'm Maria. I first want to say thank you to Alexa. I'm also a financial advisor and financial planner for Morgan Stanley. So I could definitely appreciate you, what you're doing, and every day I sit in a big desk with older gentlemen, 50, 60, and me. So it's great that we have people like Alexa really pushing women to take action and take control of their finances, and pushing women to push the envelope. So one of my biggest things is education here in Miami. I heard, I'm involved in the Miami Chamber of Commerce, and in the opening conference when 3 years back, this woman actually said, Miami is a tale of two cities, right? So you have the glamour, South Beach, fun, tourism, nightclubs, but then you also have, places like Liberty City where you actually have, the poverty level is a real big issue. And I think the way that you can start changing these things is by education and making sure that we can demand a better education level for all and for young women, so we can empower the young, our younger generations and younger women to be doctors and lawyers and financial advisors or whatever they want to do, and push the envelope and break into maybe what's traditionally a male-dominated profession. So I would love to hear about education and how we can help and get involved in our community to try to make a difference there.
For me, my issue is health. Most people don't know that in the United States, from 2008, we have lost over 60% of our private physicians. The reason being is that with all of the insurance changes, they just can't afford to stay open anymore. So they're selling out to the hospitals. And just imagine the local hospital signs a deal with a drug company. Guess what? Now you have to take those drugs. What I do, I help private physicians, specifically private physicians, with business development and nutraceuticals. Pretty sure most of you here take care of yourselves. You take your vitamins, you take your minerals, you take various other things that are not drug related. So when you talk to your doctor, majority of them will tell you, oh no, it doesn't matter what you eat. That scares the crap out of me. The other thing they'll say is, no, we don't know if that's really true. Or they'll say, oh, you could overdose on vitamins. In the past 60 years, only one person died of an overdose of vitamins. How many people die every year from an overdose of drugs? Any kind, over the counter, prescription, you name it, they just die. So obviously, our doctors need to learn how they could use other alternatives instead of drugs. And the other thing, when I come in, I help them bring in the secondary income so that they can stay in business for themselves. They don't have to sell out to the hospitals, because it really does scare me that I do this and there aren't many physicians that I'm finding who first have the open mind to say, oh, well, 80% of our patients already take vitamins. They have that closed mind of, oh, it doesn't matter what they eat. They can eat whatever they want and they will still be healthy, or there's a pill for them. And then they're seeing, I'm pretty sure you guys have been to the doctor where you're now waiting an hour and a half just to see this person for 5 seconds, and they want to just pump you with drugs and good luck, here you go on your way. So what I do is basically help them to have the time to focus on every patient. I can talk about various other things that I do, but
So what exactly do you want us to talk about?
I wanted to talk about health and how come it is, and how come I know women as a whole, we look out for ourselves. The reason why insurance is so expensive for us, I was in health insurance, is because we go to the doctor. Honestly, think about it. We go to the doctor every year. Something slightly happens, we go to the doctor. A man pays probably a third of what we pay because the insurance company stops and thinks, oh, well, he'll wait until he has a heart attack, we'll pay $500,000 on him, and he is done because he's dead. As opposed to a woman, over the years, she's racking in the amount.
What
So,
line of business are you in?
I'm an nutraceutical distributor,
Got it. And your name?
but I also have, Stephanie. Stephanie Lee. I also have a full background on health insurance, medical malpractice, a whole bunch of other stuff.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Can we hear from this side of the room?
You wanted to say that, right? Oh, okay. It's Azul Estrella. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday.
An issue that really concerns me is going back to the environment, because a lot of people say, oh yeah, we're using hybrid cars and electric cars and we're doing so much more. But then you look at stuff from factories and you say, this factory is pumping pure like smog into the air. And it's not like they're trying to do it on purpose, but yet they are. And let's say just like Barbies, just like in general. The Barbies are already made with plastic, and then they cover it with plastic to protect the doll. It's not like they're gonna get damaged. And then they have all the interior and then the back. Stop with the twisty ties. The box is enough.
Thank you. I love your passion.
All right. Hi, I'm Natalie. Definitely adding on to, what's your name? Azor. Definitely Azor. Okay. Definitely adding on to her on the issue of the environment and how we use plastics. I don't know if anyone's seen Plastic Island on Netflix, a documentary on an island that literally forms in the Pacific Ocean, because I don't know if you guys know, but plastic doesn't degrade. Like, it doesn't go into the environment. It literally will stay forever and ever. So the more plastic that we use, the more is building up in the oceans, in our woods, in the forests. The more animals eat it, the more it affects all of us, basically. Like, and definitely, I'm so glad that you're so young, you actually understand how plastic is like affecting our environment right now. But definitely, like, I forget, we all talked about the environment. But she said we need more support locally and more support in education, definitely. I know Aldi is like one of those stores that doesn't allow you to bring, like, doesn't have plastic bags. You have to bring your own bag, stuff like that. Like having like our own like local businesses, like all these entrepreneurs here who are doing their own thing, having like including the environment and our ecological footprint into a business, because most businesses don't do that.
Awesome. Thank you. We have one more.
Hi everyone, my name is Ana Ruiz and I'm glad to be here. This is my first Bridges. I'm really glad to hear that everybody has a cause that they support, mostly on the environment, that should be a priority. I think aside from like identifying the causes and the problems, we have to look for the solutions, you know? And my goal here, and I hope Bridges' goals here, is to give us the tools to come up with those solutions. We can't actually expect just advocacy to do the role. We actually have to find the solutions. And a lot of that has to do with getting involved in entrepreneurship and technology and making sure that your business is accountable to those views, like maybe recycle or whatnot. In anything that we do, what this should really be about is giving us the tools to solve those problems. And it's not as much as advocacy as that. So I just wanted to point that out and throw that in there. Thanks.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. So how about we close the circle on this topic, and then we'll definitely, I love that idea. That's awesome.
Hey guys, I'm going to be really consistent and stick to the same thing. I mean, I think all the issues that we've talked about really go back to self-accountability, and I think Erica said it. We shift the demand, right? You gave me a great idea. Hey, styrofoam person, stop giving me that. Figure something else out. Now, what I think we can all go and do, and I'm not really going to put it on Bridges, but this is something that, you know, food for thought for tomorrow. Maybe you guys have to go see an accountant tomorrow. Maybe you have to go see a doctor. I have personally witnessed, through my parents being both very sick, I've only been referred to male physicians. And I got really ticked off one day, and I said, I'm not gonna do this. I looked on the website for the insurance company, and I found a female physician. And guys, she was amazing. She actually ended up being one of the foremost skin cancer physicians in Florida, and she's in the Gables. So think about where you spend your money, and to be consistent with the pay gap. If we're not supporting each other really with dollars, to me it's all just whatever. It's smoke. And lastly, because of the administration that we have, there are some ultra-right conservatives that are currently, and I've read some articles and I'm happy to share with you guys, are currently attacking whether women should be as educated as they are, whether they should get paid as much as they do. And this is the time for us really to take a stand. There's a lot of other, violations, in my personal opinion, of women, and this is one of them. When I hear people saying that, it should be, I don't know, because right now, like say for example, in medical school, it's 50% female, 50% male, and some of these publications, they're saying that we should limit the amount of women that goes into the schools because they end up being moms anyway, and it's a waste of time. I don't know. And the only way that I can really prove people wrong is by proving them wrong. So tomorrow through next week, if you were to hire somebody, and if you don't have a woman in the mix, do me a favor and do a sister a favor. Give somebody the opportunity for business. Thank you.
And vote. Vote in midterm elections, vote in primary elections, follow your heart, do what you think is right. And if you believe in something, vote in the way that will benefit that cause. Think about what you're voting for and know what you're voting about. The FPL thing, we voted for that. We voted for FPNL to be able to own our energy that we create ourselves in our homes through solar energy. So know what you're voting for, be knowledgeable, and vote.
Thank you everybody. And so I think the common theme we heard tonight was, inspiration is only as valuable as the action it inspires, right? So our goal as Bridges is to really help close that gap and build in speakers and themes and content around some of these opportunities to continue to keep us informed, but more importantly to empower us in the type of action, the difference that we can make across these various topics and these issues. So we heard about the environment, we heard about transparency with nutrition facts and packaging, we heard about solar power, about politics, we heard about education, we heard about health, we heard about the environment throughout different formats. So really inspiring. I just wanted to close with something I'm really passionate about, and that's women equality, right? And I think you started to touch on this. I worked in the Latin American region for 15 years, and sometimes I was the only female sitting at that conference room table. And I probably had to work 2 or 3 times harder just to get respect, just so my word would be as valid as any other man sitting at that table. And today I'm still here, and I've gained that respect. I'm not saying I agree with the way things were done. I have 3 daughters, and I don't want them to have to pave the same way I did. So that's where I'm passionate about. And I'd like to end with asking Deborah and Laura the same thing. We will then close out this chapter, and somebody had a great idea. Those who are looking for a job, if you want to either take the mic for a minute, tell us a little bit about your background, your expertise. If you're not comfortable taking the mic, we're all gonna stay and mingle for a little bit.
I'll just be very brief because I was telling the girls half of my face is not doing what I wanted to do because I just came from the dentist, so I can't speak very well. But I'll just say thank you. Thank you for being here. Bridges will have as much power as this, and as much as we can grow as women. And all, I'm a mom, I have a little girl, she's 5, and all of the topics that you guys brought up, I'm very passionate about, because I think this is what we will inherit from paving the way to the environment, like that little girl Azul was saying. Yeah, I'm glad that you're knowledgeable because this is what we will leave you, and that's what I want to leave a better world for my daughter. So in terms of the environment, voting, the FPL thing, it's very, maddening the fact that they control that. How come a private company controls what we can do? But anyways, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up, and keep doing it.
This is live. There, post it. Yeah, so thank you so much for all those themes. On a personal note, the reason that I started this is because at some point during my teenage years, when I moved to Canada from Argentina, we had a big economical situation there, and I moved with my parents to this new country. I mean, Miami is full of newcomers, so I'm sure a big percentage here are. So I went through some personal heavy issues, and I've had this feeling that you're alone, and you persevere, and no one makes you stronger. And I fought for what I wanted. I fought for the people that I love. And growing up and through my jobs, just like Shana said, I was working in Latin America, a very man-dominated world marketing industry. And I had a lot of mentors, and that's amazing. But I had to make them my mentors in a way. I kind of coerced them into being my mentors, but all of them were male. And it's great because it gives you a different input on things, a different insights, but they're still males, right? There's things that with women, as women, we understand, and it's amazing to have that male support, but we do need to encourage each other. Younger girls, I'm so happy Azul is here, especially on her birthday. And this women here, they're all my mentors. Shana, I can't even begin. She's the one that said, Deborah, just fucking do it. And this was born. So to me, I love to keep on hearing from you. The things that I love to touch upon are these, and we'll come up with more. So, show up, speak up, tell us what you're looking for, what you can offer to this group. This is a community. This is a give and take. And also what you're passionate about, and let's create those opportunities. Let's be leaders. Let's lead other people and be led. And really, really, really connect with each other, inspire each other, empower each other. And that being said, should we open to our ladies looking for opportunities? Yes. Okay, so whoever wants to take the microphone, please come here. You guys each want to take 1 minute, and yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessica. I just recently moved here to Miami from New York. I've only been here 3 weeks. So I'm looking for jobs in marketing, branding, if anyone knows of anything. Yeah, that's it. I used to work in licensing and marketing back in New York for a fashion company. So yeah, I just decided to move somewhere else, start something new, and just meet new people.
I have a contact at Sony that has a huge licensing department, so I'll put you in touch with them, yeah? Anybody else?
Hi everybody, my name is Rebecca, and I've been here 3 weeks. I came down from Dallas, I quit my job, and I decided, I wanted to move somewhere different, push myself out of my comfort zone. So I came out here to try to look for a job. I'm in the IT field, but I'm also looking for opportunities in event planning. That's something that I was passionate about and I started doing on the side in Dallas. So I'm here to meet new people, and yeah. Rebecca.
Hello, my name is Maura. I'm finishing my MBA this May in global marketing. I'm struggling because I'm trying to make it to that next step in my career. I'm stuck in administrative roles, which I've reached a horrible plateau and I can't seem to break through. So I'm hoping to do that for my next move. I am opposing, to settling for another admin role when I have the potential for something else. So I'm going for something communications, marketing. I have great communication skills, and I love to expand on them.
Hi everyone, my name is Valentina and I'm in real estate. I'm looking for some new opportunities, so if you guys have anything to offer, I would like to hear about them. Thank you.
So my name is Elaine, I'm like Valentina, I'm in real estate too, and I also do property management. And I'd like just to leave a message here, right? I came because of Stella. And as soon as I came to Miami, I'm from Brazil, someone told me, Miami is a city of passerby, so don't even mind about making friends and making connections, because everybody's here for 1 or 2 years and they're gonna go back to their country. So I've been in Miami for 8 years. I decided to make this city my home. It's beautiful, the weather is amazing, and it's good that today we discussed about the environment. And you know what that says about us? That we love the city, right? We are here, it doesn't matter that our clients, Vaida, they are from Brazil or from everywhere else. They put a lot of money in the city with the Miami-Dade county taxes and property taxes, and we are here to take advantage of it, okay? We are here to take care of our environment, of the plastic we put in the bay, Biscayne Bay. So I'm really happy to be here. I'm also in real estate. Vaida and Valentina, if you need any help, you can reach us. And let's make Miami our home. Let's take care of it, 8 years.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for your time. Feel free to mingle, grab a card in the back board, and you will be able to connect with different people. So look for the description of the clothing that the card describes, and feel free to spark a conversation based on the level of interest. Thank you so much.